This is the Eufy Security Video Doorbell E340 with chime. I don't know if that's how you pronounce. Is it Eufy or Eufy? This thing, put that there. This thing has been an absolute what's it to set up. It's been so difficult to connect it to itself and to the house Wi-Fi, but I think we need a video doorbell. A few days ago, a neighbour in the streets asked me if we have a video camera. Now, usually it's the Ring camera, isn't it? And those are owned by Amazon. And I said I didn't. And it turned out that they had been ripped off, scammed for a lot of money on the doorstep. And it's easily done. I had someone knocking on the door telling me that there was a tile loose on the roof. I know my roof is in a state, so I didn't need someone knocking on the door telling me it. It's a scam. It's just a way for them to case your house, and there's all kinds of distraction techniques. I thought, well, maybe it is time to get one of these. I hate them. When my son was 13, I actually made this video where we were just delivering leaflets. It was his job, but I ended up helping him, and it felt horrible going up to the doors with a camera flashing light on it. It really didn't feel good. So I don't want to put legitimate people who've got to deliver things to our house through having to be recorded, but when we're away it would be good to have some kind of monitoring. Also, I work in the Happy Hearts at the end of the garden, and sometimes it's just I just have to be in the house for a delivery, so I can't do my work in my the YouTube studio. I thought having a doorbell that would have some kind of capability for me to reply or tell them it's okay to leave it on the doorstep or whatever, I thought it would just be helpful to have that, especially with people knocking on the doors. Even while I was setting this up, there were more people asking if they can trim your hedge. It is not legit. I just need some way of deterring people who don't want to do good things from our house. I'm going to show you how we put this up step by step, how we wired it into our existing system. It's got a battery, by the way, so you don't need to wire it up like this. So this is what comes in the box with the Eufy Security Video Doorbell E340 with chime. And it opens up by sliding the top off. Oh, this looks nice. Inside the box, we have the chime, and I'm assuming from the back we can put a UK plug or other type of plug on the back there. And of course, the E340 camera itself. Got a nice LED light on the top. Shall I take the wrapping off? Let's do it. Oh, there's the camera, the button, and underneath there's a second camera with LED lights. On the back, these screws are to connect it to your existing doorbell wiring if you want to. And this battery pack charges up here. There's a USB-C port to charge up this battery pack. And there's a tag here, which if you pull out, it reveals a QR code underneath for this particular camera. It's a sticker and instructions of some fitting screws and raw plugs or wall anchors. There's the UK plug, there's a European plug, USB-C charging a pin for removing it from the base. And this is the base that I will screw onto the door frame, and there's a hole there for the existing wiring. There's also a wedge, so you can put this underneath the base to set the camera at a jaunty angle. And we have some jumper cables if your leads from your doorbell wiring aren't long enough. To set the chime up, you can line up these lugs into the holes here, and then you twist it into place. So I've charged up the Eufy doorbell camera with the USB-C cable, and I've set up a Eufy account in the Eufy app. I know, I just find it really annoying that we've got to create a subscription for every single thing that we buy now. And it brings me to this page, all devices, add device. The first thing we need to do is to pull out this tab here. It reveals a QR code. I turn the doorbell video camera on, so there's a button here, sync. I'll press that once and see what happens. Hello. Okay, so I know that this works now. If I hit add device, and it says allow access to Bluetooth, so I'll hit yes. And then I need to find this camera on here. So I think it's under doorbell chime. There we go. So I'll click on doorbell chime, and we've got three choices here. I'll go for video. Oh, is it doorbell chime? No, it's the video doorbell. Allow Eufy to access the camera. Okay, I'll go yes. Now I'm going to scan the QR code and it's given me these three choices. I think what I want to do is connect it to my Wi-Fi router. So I'll click on that, allow location. So now I can put in the password of our Wi-Fi router, and I need to go and ask my kids now what that is because I can never remember it. So I got my kids to type in the Wi-Fi password that I forget every time. It now says press the sync button, that's this button here, for 2 seconds until you hear a beep and the LED is flashing blue. So I'll hold this for 2 seconds. There we go, so it's flashing here. It's got an option here, heard a beep. So we heard a beep. Please use the doorbell to scan the code on your phone. Okay, and it says once scanned, you will hear 2 beeps. Oh no, there we go.
To the Wi-Fi network.
It did it. Connecting to the Wi-Fi, keep the camera close to the router.
Setup was successful.
Oh, it worked. Added successfully. You're almost done. Please follow the rest of the steps. Right, I give it a name. So I'm going to call it front door. Oh, it's got a firmware update. So I'll hit update. Now what's happening here is that there's some software that controls this device. We recommend enabling end-to-end encryption. Right, so is it added then? So it's brought me to this page. There's nothing there, but if I click on security, it brings up this message. Cannot receive notifications from cameras or sensors. Learn how to set? Let's have a look. 4 steps to receive notifications. Oh, I don't know about any of this. You can turn the notifications on and off. Oh, this has already overwhelmed me. My camera has appeared on the security tab and it's saying front door updating. So I think it's still updating the firmware on here. Now I've got this white screen. If you tap on the screen for your camera, it comes to life. So I've tapped on front door and look at this. So I've tapped on front door and look at this. I am glorious stereo. And I've had to turn down my phone because there's a delay. I can hear this. This is how the camera looks. You can see there are 2 cameras. There's one on top and one down below to show the package. And it is now showing my package. It's going to be fantastic to be able to see if there's someone at the front door. Because the times I've missed packages just because I'm at the end of the garden, I think that's going to be the biggest case use for this. Next, I'm going to annoy the whole house, the whole family, by turning off the power to the house. And I wish there was just one switch I could throw for the front doorbell, but there isn't, so everything will come off. Oh, that didn't sound good. Let's turn everything off. And don't worry, the blanking plate's back on, so everything's off now. And I'll just, whoa, ow. I've seen online that Eufy video doorbells don't work very well with older transformers. So I'm hoping our very old transformers from before when we got the house, it looks like it's from the early 90s. I'm hoping that this transformer will be powerful enough for the video doorbell. And this is the horror that I'm going to replace. I can't wait to see the back of this. The twee brass look. Oh, his days are numbered. It's time to go. Oh, let's just check that it doesn't ring. Yeah, everything's off. I'm so happy this is coming off. This is wooden, so I'm hoping it's going to be really easy to get the new frame on. Let's see what we've got underneath to play with. Oh my god, what a mess. All kinds of atrocities here over the years. Look at that. So I've got wires, and it looks like 4 wires. So I'll need a smaller screwdriver to get these out, but I've got no play. You know, I can't bring the doorbell out enough. And it turns out it's really simple. Look, I've got this dangly wire. I could just push it out more. It looks like it's really easy to unscrew these wires, and I've just got to make sure I keep the colours together. I'm so glad to see the back of this brass thing though. Even if it doesn't work, there's no way I'm putting that ugly thing back on the door. I need to check that this is in the right place. There's an easy way to check, obviously. If I just hold the camera here and get the app out, I can tell I've just held down the sync button and now the blue light's flashing.
Failed to connect to the network. Please try again.
Yeah, I know that. It's not connecting to the app because the power's off. So you can use the app to see if this is the right place before you turn the power off. It's a little tip there. What we're going to do is put the base plate on. It does have to be a particular way up. And I'm going to put it up as high as possible, I think. It does come with a bunch of screws. I've got 2. I think it comes with 6, and they give you 4 rule plugs or wall anchors. I want it centre and I want it straight. So this is, oops. So I want to turn that off as well. Anyway, we've got the 2 screws on the back. So if I loosen these, and then we've got to make electrical contacts, good electrical contacts, and avoid the wires touching each other. I hope this goes easier for you. It was really fiddly for me, but I managed to get the 2 wires onto the contact points, and now all we need to do is just clip it into the frame. So I sit it on the bottom and then push it up, and it should snap into place, and that's it. There's a big gap at the back, and I don't know why. I didn't notice anything at the back. Now the way to take it off, and I'm going to deal with this later on, is that you get a key, like a pin. It's just a pin. It's almost like one of those SIM ejector tools, and all you do is just press it in the top, and the camera comes off really easily, which doesn't feel very secure. So we're going to put a specialised screw in there, like a grub nut, to try and make that more difficult. Now I think this isn't very good. They've put these bulgy out bits, which I didn't notice before. So it means that when you hold the frame to the door frame, it sticks out. They've clearly done that to strengthen where the screw holds the frame to the door. But the problem with that is you get this gap, which I don't like, unless you countersink it, which obviously no one's going to do. So I'm going to put it back on. There. That is straight and flush. Well, not flush that side, but that's the best I can do. Now I can turn the power on and see if it works with the app. Bang! Now I can open up the Eufy app, and there I am. If I press on the front door, this is a live video feed. Oh my goodness, it makes my belly not look flattering. But what's great is that this bottom camera does show where parcels have been left on the floor, so that is really helpful. And if I press the doorbell, let's see what happens. But this is in the right place. Now I'm going to set up the chime that comes with the Eufy doorbell. I'm just going to plug it in here, and already it's flashing red, so I need to set this up. I was just setting the camera up and it started talking to me. There's now a solid green light there, so that solid green shows that it's ready to set up, so not when it's flashing red. Don't talk to me. I've got so many devices in my house that talk to me. Back into the Eufy app, on the top right hand corner, I think this is add device. So I'll hit add device, and I'm going to scroll down to doorbell chime, and it's the doorbell chime at the bottom here, so I'm going to click on that button. Now I can scan the QR code. Now I know the QR code is underneath the doorbell, so if I just hold it under here. It's recommended to install the device between the router and the device. Don't know which device it's referring to. And it says press the sync button for 2 seconds until the LED blinks green. So I haven't done any of that, but it's giving me this flashing animation. I don't know if I need to hold down the button for 2 seconds. Should I give it a try? On the top of the chime, there's a sync button. So I'm going to hold that down for 2 seconds.
Wi-Fi doorbell chime is ready for setup.
Okay, that's what it said before. I can introduce my doorbell to my fridge now. But I'm going to click on chime. So, right, so I've clicked connect, but it's asked for a password. I don't have a password for the chime. Oh man, what's the password? So come out of the Wi-Fi setup, ignore that, go back to the app and press next. So this means I can now connect it to my Wi-Fi. So if I type in our password, no. Yeah, it'll be about 3 minutes because I'm in the middle of fixing the door. I'll be with you in a moment. Okay, so I'll enter our Wi-Fi password.
Testing Wi-Fi connection.
It says that this is now working. So if I go and ring the door, I don't know why it's still saying connecting. But it says it's connected. Oh, here we go. Give your home base a name. Oh, I'll just put chime there. Added successfully. Your device was added successfully. I hope my pain is helping you to avoid all of this. So I'll now hit next. Right, so now this can work as a chime. In this mode, the mini home base will only function as a chime. Recordings are stored on the doorbell, or I can work as a home base. Recordings are stored on the mini home. I don't know what it means. Is it calling this a mini home base? I thought it was a whole other product. No, it can detect there's no card in there, so I'll just hit the first one. Now it's doing a firmware update. When it comes from the factory, there's software that runs the chime, so it's now updating it, that they add new features and remove any bugs. So sorry, I'm updating the firmware on this doorbell. It's just so much easier, isn't it? If there's a button that turns on the lights, you just press the button and the lights come on. You don't need to update firmware, you don't need to set up a subscription, you don't need to create a temporary Wi-Fi network to pair a device, you don't need to update the firmware. It's just a switch or a doorbell button. You just press it and the thing goes ring. Now I need to do this because it would be really handy to be able to monitor the front door while I'm in the happy hut in the garden. I'll be able to answer the door. I'll be able to take deliveries instead of being under house arrest and having to stay here for 4 hours instead of back up the hut doing some work. And also, you know, when we're away and we get deliveries, it's really handy to see that the delivery is there. And to some extent, I'm hoping it will protect that delivery. If there's something on our doorstep, at least we've got some kind of video surveillance on it. But it's another complication. It's more mental load. Some people can cope with this more than others. I don't think I can cope with this very well. And I don't want my fridge to have Wi-Fi. I have no need to communicate with my fridge. Maybe the fridge and the doorbell could have some kind of, I don't know, chit-chat. Maybe they could coordinate with each other, because then they'd know when we're carrying food in. It's just a way of companies getting into my head, and it's under the guise of convenience and features. And do you know what? Having an empty brain is I think that's a luxury, that's a feature. Not having to deal with any of this is the feature. I also don't like the idea of protecting my stuff. It's like, I just need to be happy and spend time with my family. The stuff doesn't matter. It really, truly doesn't matter. But that said, I would be a bit frustrated if the stuff were taken away. That's how they get you. Oh, here we go, 99%. Oh, here we go. No! What? Failed to update. So we're now up to 100%. Fingers crossed it works this time. It's failed to update. What is the problem? I wonder if I could about device. So if I go to about device, maybe I could try check for firmware update. Firmware is up to date. What? I've done all of that. Yeah, that's the firmware updates. Look, that's today's date. Oh, Eufy, this isn't good. Rubbish, absolute rubbish. So it should work now. I'm going to go into the video camera doorbell, and at the top, on the top right hand corner, that was fast. On the top right hand corner, so we've got all these settings. I've got indoor chime. So I'll click on that. So we've got these options. So you can add it to Alexa. That would be great, wouldn't it, to just complicate it even more. I think the one I want, it says mini bass repeater chime. Choose which chime. There we go. So this is a mini bass repeater. Nowhere does it tell you that. This is the mini bass repeater. I just wish Eufy had explained any of this anywhere. So now we can change the chime ringtone. This is exciting. I've sent my son to ring the doorbell, and I'm going to see if I can talk to him for the first time. Go for it, Joe. Right, so I can hear the doorbell chime. Oh, and it's come to life on my phone, but you get a notification. Look, it says tap to respond to your visitor. So I'll tap on that. What it doesn't say is that you need to click this phone handset button down in the middle here. So I click on that. Now it prompts you to access the microphone. So I'll hit next and allow Eufy to record audio. So I'll say yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I hear you now.
Do you have my parcel, please?
No.
It also gives you a crotch shot as well,
Yeah,
which
I
I'm
know, I
not
was
sure
just about
about. I hope this works for you. I hope that something here has helped you decide whether or not to buy this, or if you have bought it, that you can avoid all the problems I've had installing it and setting it up. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up or the subscribe button. It really helps me to keep these videos going. And right here is what YouTube knows you want to be watching next.